Hello there. Sorry about that. I was just checking to see if I were live or it was just a still image of me. Welcome to Raconteurs After Dark. Thank fuck Jason lost that horrible tune. I've not played any music, and there's a reason for that, which I'm going to tell you about now. It's not going to be a normal sort of after dark, I don't think, but perhaps we might do a bit of a phone in later on. Hey, good evening, Jimmy Hagan. Evening. Anyway, first things first. To the business that we've gone down to now. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but on Tuesday of this week, and I'm trying to steady myself a bit. My mate Aid and former Raconteurs News presenter had a massive stroke, and for quite a while there, we thought we were going to lose him. We don't know because he lives on his own. Nobody knows how long the event had been going on for. It's looked like it had been going on at least since early morning, because it was sort of 2:30ish when he was found, and he was completely stark bollock naked. So he'd obviously been in bed. I'm sorry to. I'm sorry. I'm fucking. It's just been tears all the fucking way here since Wednesday when I found out. But on the other hand, there's been no, he's not died. Sorry, he's not died. He's not dead. It looked like we were going to lose him on Tuesday and Wednesday night. But he's pulled through. He's this fucking egg. This is eggy all over the place. I mean, they said that he'd never talk again. Which, if you know Aid, that's all it does. That's what he's good at. He's talking. So. That was a shitty thing to hear. Also, he has been making progress. Apparently, this morning, I spoke to his daughter this morning. She's been keeping me informed. The nurses said that reported that he were being arrogant and not very. He weren't really complying. He can't say anything, but he did today manage to dress himself and shuffle across the floor. I mean, it's so frustrating. Nobody can go and see him. We can't go and see him because of this stupid fucking virus. And I think that this fucking virus is to blame for this. There's a lot of stress that people have had, and I think Aid's had a bit of stress, family stress recently as well. But of course, he'd lost his job. Everybody knows that. Everybody who's a regular on Raconteurs News knows that he is what was going to go and live in Thailand next year. By March next year, he could cash in his pensions and he'd be able to afford to go and live in Thailand for the rest of his life. where he would have been. I was speaking to Bex yesterday. I spoke to Bex. Everybody remember Bex. She's really close friend of Aids. I mean, me and Aidy met Bex at the same time, but I mean, she was more. She was more. She had more contact with Aidy, so she was more in touch with Aidy. I'm that sort of person that is. That you know that's. I'm not as personable as Aidy. So yeah, he's. Yeah, she said to me that. I mean, we were talking on Wednesday night, and what had been happening is the doctors had been onto the phone to Jess, his daughter. Excuse me. I'd been onto Jess, his daughter, and asked about a DNR, do not resuscitate. You know, if something happened. And she rung me and asked me, asked me what I thought, but it was at the same time she told me about what had happened, so I didn't really have a clear head. So anyway, I spoke to Bex afterwards. And Bex said, you know, if he's not going to fucking talk again, and if he's not going to, you know, if he's going to be, not be, you know, he's going to be trapped inside, if you know what I mean. He's going to be trapped inside, and so you know, he wouldn't want that. So, and we wouldn't want that for him as well. So, fortunately, that never came to pass. So we've got past that bit, and now he's getting, like I say, he's being cantankerous with the staff. Somebody said. What did they say? They were saying they were a stubborn, miserable old fart. And when I heard that, you know, I thought, well, that's Aid. You know, he's going to be a miserable. You know, he's going to have a go at him, and he's going to. He's not going to be. He's not going to take this. You know, he's not going to take it lightly. He's going to want to. He's going to want to be out as soon as possible. You know, he's going to want to. Be home and do stuff. So yeah, he's he was today. He's been able to dress himself. He's shuffled his way across the ward and stuff like that. So his balance is there. We're hoping to get his phone back to him soon, because Bex said that because it's his right hand side that's all completely gone. The top half, his right arm is not working at all, or it's only, you know, working. It's only got a limited mobility. So we're hoping to get his phone back to him soon, because she said that would help with his dexterity, you know, and being able to move along. So it's been a crap week. It's been a crap week, and I blame stress. I blame stress. This fucking shit that they're fucking doing. You know, he wouldn't have had this stress if it had just been, you know, if it had been normal. It'd have been you know, he'd have been doing his job and working and what have you. But he's had some family stress as well. But the stress of not knowing where he's going to be living. He's not got a job anymore because he lost that due to the COVID outbreak. So you know, the amount of stress that's been piled upon him. We talk about suicides, but there's also other people that the stress has a detrimental effect upon. And you know, Aidy, for fuck's sake, you've heard him. You've seen you've seen what he's like. He's full of life. He's full of beans. It might not be very nice tasting beans, but you know what I mean. There might be a fucking 1984, best before 1984 tin of beans, but that's what That's what he were. He fucking full of it. He wanted. When I remember when I woke him up, he was just like fucking at it all the time. He was watching and watching videos and listening to podcasts and things like that. While we were at work, we were working in a strip bar. Remember, me and Ada. I'd been offered a job and I couldn't do it because I couldn't do it all because I got other commitments. And AD stepped in and did the days that I couldn't do. So, we were working in a strip joint, and while they were getting strippers up onto stage, because believe me, the working in a strip club was great for the first 20 minutes, and then it's just a pile of toss. It's just another job. But he used to sit and watch videos on conspiracies, and he went a long way. He went a long way in a very short period of time. He saw probably as much as I'd seen in 6 years. He saw it in 6 months because he was just at it and want it, and that's the problem with him. But you can't take that away from him. But again, another little thing I just want to gear today as well. Somebody told that Jess told me that because she rolled me up and she was over at Moon, and she said that one of the nurses had been helping him walk, and he'd said 2 words. He'd said 2 words, although he said them. He couldn't, enunciate properly. A bit like me now, he couldn't enunciate properly. But she knew what the 2 words were by the way that he was saying them. See, so I'd imagine one of them were off. Again, that just shows us that there are parts. AD's still in there, and he's fighting to come out. He's going to fight to come out. I've just gone through up and down emotions this week. It's been a fucking nightmare, to be honest. So how are you anyway? How are you lot? Everybody okay? Everybody had a good week? I hope you have. I don't really care, to be honest. But people say that, don't they? Not to blow smoke up your earth. He's been away a bit, hasn't he, old Richie Allen, I heard. Well, actually, I saw him a video of him on Twitter. Somebody had retweeted, and it sort of, they were trying to have said, I didn't watch it, to be honest. I saw it with him, and then I heard him say, "Oh, I'm going to tell you why." I'll. Yeah, anyway. I can't remember what I was fucking talking about then. What were I talking about? Nightmare. I can't remember. Yeah, I was talking shit. Yeah, thank you, Chris O'Rourke. Yeah, keeps me unstewing all this denying. Stew. I don't know what that means. From Paul, I Raconteurs News, thank you for telling us. Is there anything we can do to help in any small way? Such a shock for you, sending genuine thoughts and love. And do you know what I told? I only told a few people. The only people I told was who I consider to be the Raconteurs News family. So I told Super Leeds, believe it or not. I told Webby, and I told John Hull, who does the write-ups. Johnny Jamshable in in the chat room. Those are people I consider to be part of Raconteurs News. They have been part of Raconteurs News before, and I just wanted them to know first. So, but it didn't. It's been a weird week. Fucking weird. And the weirdest thing is, after he'd fucking told me, so I'm sorry, after Jess had told me, not long after Jess had told me what had happened, I got a fucking WhatsApp message from him. And it was one of them WhatsApp messages that like gets stuck in time. Because he was sending them me all the time. And it came through and it said it was from 23rd of November. Yeah. It came through afterwards. It was weird. It was weird. It was weird. Very weird. But listen, I'm sure everybody sends the love and the prayers as well. And we did get a lot of prayers for AD, and I think that's probably happened. I think that's probably helped. Sorry, the power of prayer. Me and Bex both agreed that we'd AA. These are fucking weird times, says Stu. Yeah, they are weird times, aren't they? They are weird times that we seem to be stuck in, and fucking Bojo. And then you've got these tears are coming in, aren't they? So they're getting lockdown finishes December 2nd or something next week. And then, well, actually, you're still locked down. You're in tier 3. Or you're in tier 2, or you can do this or that, or fucking, whistling on a Tuesday. Can't do a whistling on a Tuesday, Jester. You bastard. There we go. Who's that? Hi guys, it's Alex. I was on the show 2 weeks ago. Well, good evening, Alex. Good evening. AA says, who's taking the vax? Not me. Nobody's taking a vaccine, are they? Nobody who watches this is going to take a vaccine. Nobody in the right mind. Yeah, who'd have thought 2020 ended in tears? Yes, it was always going to. It's been a shockingly shit year. But there's no fucking naughty. There's no naughty list this year, according to Tesco's, who decide the rules of Christmas. And so you got parents up in arms that the kids are fucking going, man, going absolutely fucking mental because there's no naughty list according to Tesco's, and Tesco's has got to be right. Bring on the technocracy. Yeah, that's where we're going. It is where we're going. Because I will not take the mark of the beast for freedom. No, and neither will I. Great reset is upon us. Again, this great reset. It's been there for years. If you go back onto my other channel, Alter Edge Media, I did an interview with a guy called Mark Fraggs. What was his name? Mark, I'll tell you. Fucking Mark Recchia. And that must have been about 5 or 6 years ago. And we were talking about the reset. There was the same thing happening then. We were talking about a reset, the reset. And I did an interview with him because he knew what it were and I didn't. And I'm not, I couldn't fucking be asked to. I couldn't be asked to really look into it that much. So I had a chat with him, and he seemed to think it were a bad thing. There's something for you. So yeah, get on. I put the radio on this morning and thought it was Christmas Eve, and put fucking radio on. Yeah, fucking creepy. They change, don't they? I think it's about November 15th. They change art to Heart Christmas. I don't know. I've not been in my car for a yonkers. Revelations 13:17. So they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark. Yeah, the mark of the devil. The devil's mark. Don't buy or sell. Come on, what's going on here? What is going on? As someone might say. Yeah, you know what we're talking about. Anyway, if you want to jump in, I'll have half an hour with a few people if you want to jump on. There that goes. If you're stupid, you're getting kicked off. Yeah, thank you, Donna. Yeah, I will send that love to you. I'm thinking about perhaps doing a GoFundMe page. I don't know whether he's going to need anything when he comes out. It's I might set up a GoFundMe page. What's that? Why is that not? I mean, I've seemed to have frozen. Oh, there we go. There we go. From Paula, truthfully, I could say there are folks in this room who have helped me in the past when I was struggling. Friends can make such a difference when you need a lift. Thank you. Thank you for that, Paula. We're glad that we can make you feel better. See who we got here? I bet it's Uni.
Well, considering the name, I should
stiff again.
Yeah, sorry.
Uni.
Yeah, sorry if I'm bothering you, man.
Uni live.
The streams.
Oh, I can't hear him.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can now. I couldn't then.
I think it was lagging a little bit. I saw you were like freezing up.
Yeah, I am. It's this laptop. I need a new laptop. Fucking. But, you know, money's tight, times are hard. Is your fucking Christmas card? What do you want to say, Uni, mate?
Well, first of all, I just want to say sorry for always constantly being the first one to pop in when you put a link to your StreamYard.
No, listen, don't worry about it. But don't take it personally if I don't put you on. That's all I have to say, you know.
I'm sure you do it to Leeds as well.
Oh, don't time. Leeds usually goes in a strop. He buggers off in a strop with face on.
But I just want to say you were saying about the whole money is tight thing. Well, apparently not to fucking to gamers, because PS5 be fucking sold out already. It's sold out before it even came out. It's crazy. It's $500. I'm just wondering, where the hell do people get the money for all these? It got so bad they actually forbade people from buying to more than one console because they were so fucking low on because they were so sold out. I'm like, how do people have enough money for this? When people lost their jobs, like I don't get it. It makes no sense.
No, you're right. It don't make any sense. But it is where the dragon is, isn't it? The dragon is down into all this, where we're into a virtual world.
Oh, speaking of which, did you hear about what might be happening in around April, May, March of 2021? Is that once they've got us down into the virtual network, then they're gonna by putting us down and forcing into the virtual network, then they're gonna cut that off, cut the internet, and then everyone's gonna have no place to run to, essentially. Like there's gonna be basically a big internet outage worldwide.
Yeah, that won't surprise me.
Yeah, that something to do with.
Me. Good evening, Alexandre.
Alexandre. I'm assuming it's Spanish, but I can't pronounce it.
No, it's French.
Good evening, Alexandre. You're live. What have you got to say?
Oh, I just want to say I'm sorry to hear about AIDS, and I hope he gets better soon.
Yeah, I think we all do, mate. what we've had last couple of days, you know, the progress that he's made last couple of days, hopefully we'll get him back fully.
What happened?
It's interesting that you. He had a stroke.
Oh shit! Oh wow! Wow.
Yeah, he had a stroke Tuesday night.
Wow.
Yeah, go on, Alex. You were saying something.
Yeah, it's interesting that you blamed it on you know, the fake virus that caused stress. You know, like that might be that might be one of the reasons why that happened. Yeah, it's interesting that you blamed it on you know, the fake virus that caused stress.
Yeah, I think you've got something going on. Someone's got something going on in the background. Someone needs to turn the YouTube off.
Oh, sorry. Is it better now?
I can still hear it. It's you, Mark. Oh, is it?
Was it me?
Mark. Good evening, Mark. What you got to say to us?
Yeah. I'm sorry, that wasn't me making that noise, was it?
I think it is. Have you got YouTube on it, background?
Yeah, there's a Bluetooth thing going on. Hang on. Yeah, it's all fucked up. Hang on. Must be. I'll come back in a bit.
All right, mate. No problem. No problem.
Sorry, I'm just testing. Is it working now?
Yeah, it's working now. I think it's Mark that's had the problem. He's got he's got the YouTube going on in the background, so he's going to come back.
Because I could hear myself echoing.
Yeah, I could as well. So I think we narrowed it down to Mark's. So so it's all good. What are you doing this Friday night? Friday night?
It's not Friday night.
Alex?
I'm from New Zealand, so it's actually Saturday morning at 11:50.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, so it's what sort of day? Have a nice day.
Yeah, really nice out. You know, you'd look outside right now my window, and you would have no idea we're supposed to be in this historic pandemic. Yeah.
You were saying before that talking about the point that I made, that this pandemic, this is attributed to AIDS. What's happened to AIDS?
The stress levels.
You mentioned on that. Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? I mean, what's it like in New Zealand? I've heard New Zealand's sort of worse than anywhere else. I know if you look out your window, you wouldn't know. You'd expect, from what they're telling us, that there'd be like loads of dead bodies laying about, and flies and stuff, and we'd have trucks just coming and picking bodies up. But it's not been like that, has it?
Nah. They just mandated masks on public transport last Thursday.
Right. So it's mandatory to wear a mask on a bus,
or a train, or a ferry. Plane.
Well,
and Qantas Airlines just said it's going to be mandatory vaccines to fly on to Australia, or from Australia to somewhere else. So there goes my my dream of going to Australia one day.
Yeah, there must be other carriers, but I mean, if Qantas are going to do it, it's going to be implemented everywhere, isn't it?
Exactly, because they're one of the biggest airlines in the world.
Yeah, and one of the safest as well.
Well, not anymore, because they're going to make you vaccinated in order to join their plane.
This is true. This is true. Mark, you're back. You seem to have solved your problem. How you doing?
Can you hear me now? Is it all
good?
Can
you hear me now? Yes.
Is it all good? Sorry about that. I don't know if it's because I've got the YouTube. I'm not used to this sort of business, mate. So that was the YouTube running in the background. I think I had Bluetooth. So is it all loud and clear and all good now?
It's all clear now. Yep. We can hear you loud and clear and no echo.
I'm just saying hello to you, mate, because I think. Do you remember me from the Town Hall 5G thing? Do you remember that one? Yeah, that's when I met you, mate. That's when I met you.
Oh right, yeah, okay, yeah. Were you the one that
so, do you remember when it was at that stag? It was when that stag was going on and I had that 5G banner.
Yeah, I remember.
Were
you the guy that ran up? You thought that I were
that was how the story went. Yeah, that was me, mate. Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
Oh, right.
I thought you was undercover police or something. That's what you thought. Well, that's what I said, didn't I, man? But it was just all just
yeah.
For me. Yeah, no, that was me, mate. So you do know what I'm about now.
I do remember you. And there were police. There were some people chasing you down the road saying, "No, he's all right. He's on our side."
I didn't know who you were, man. Oh, I know. But I've been watching your show since, man. You know, well, every now and then. Do you know what I mean? So, you know.
Yeah, of course. Well,
I do find it, and I do know. I do remember Adi as well. You know, so I'm just saying, commiserations, and horrible thing to hear about and everything. But stay strong, man. And like I say, I don't normally do this sort of thing. I just thought to say hi, because I've moved out of Sheffield now. Anyway, I don't live in Sheffield. I mean, I'm up in Barnsley these days, mate.
Barnsley. Oh my days!
Barnsley, I know you took Barnsley, don't you?
Things must have been bad in Sheffield if you've gone to fucking Barnsley. Jesus Christ!
Mate, it weren't that, mate. I was fucking living down by Mearsbrook Park, and that's where the tree business was going. It was too middle class for me, mate. Too expensive.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Bit more real now, mate.
It is. They still won't accept it, though, will they? The 5G thing.
Well, I don't know what's going to go on with that. That's all taking a big back seat now, anyway, man. Fuck the trees. Like we say, we've got the Great Reset. We've got COVID and everything to deal with now. We've got this big agenda going on here. That can all take a back seat now, can't it? Really, fucking hell. You know what I mean? We've got bigger things to worry about at the moment, haven't we?
Yeah, well,
we know the 5G is going up at the same time. Definitely the infrastructure's getting there, and especially places like Melbourne and that. When my brother's living, and a bit about that. It's definitely going on a bit out there. They're already getting, the 5G antennas. The thing we were talking about, when they were talking about chopping down the trees in Sheffield, they haven't quite got the infrastructure yet, have they?
No, not quite. No, so we've got. You're listening to Raconteurs News After Dark. We've got people. We've got people from all four corners of the world. We've got someone from England. That's me. We've got someone from the United States of America. That's Uni. We've got some news in the future tomorrow morning at 11:55. And it's summertime there as well, where they are. So they are definitely in the future. That's Alexandre, because it's fucking Alexandre, who's in New Zealand, and we've got Mark Vander Elst, who's in Barnsley. It's not as bad as Rotherham, though. Rotherham would be worse, and I'm actually from Rotherham, so I can't really say anything. So, how's the old COVID, the Kung flu? How's it affected you? Has it affected you in a big way?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
How's COVID affected me? Oh God.
Yeah, well, in fact, we'll go around. We'll go around everybody. You first, then we'll go to Alexandre, and then to you.
No, it was you asking Alex anyway. Sorry, don't ask me first. I'll get it together. Try and think of an answer because it's affected everybody, isn't it? Massively, in loads of different ways.
What about yourself, Alex?
Yeah, so I'm a student. Actually, I just finished. And we had to have our classes relegated to having them on Zoom. So I guess that's directly how it affected my life, if you're asking, me personally. I wasn't working, so I wasn't one of those people who had, who lost their job because of it. So I can't say I was affected by it as negatively as others were, but more like almost psychologically, it's been affecting me. Like when I wake up, you know, you go about your day, and then it pops into your head that we're under this world communism, and then you go, oh crap, we're under this world communism. This sucks. You know, like it's this constant reminder of the world we're in right now. Like it's kind of like, for me, it's a psychological torment that I found really hard. Worrying about, you know, not wearing a mask on a bus and all of this nonsense, things like that.
Do you I had a question right in my head there, and I can't remember what it is. I will remember it. Yeah. Well, Uni, I'll come back to you, Alex, because there's definitely a question, and I'll remember it at some point. Uni, how has it affected you?
It really hasn't affected me at all, because I think I'm one of the few people that you know, that doesn't do anything that actually the lockdown really affects. Because, you know, here I am sitting in my room, no responsibilities, no nothing. So I don't really, I'm not really affected. I just watch the world go around, and I do agree with what you said, Alex, about the whole communism thing. But to me personally, it doesn't affect me, because we knew all along that this world was a communist dictatorship. It's just now more obvious than it was before. So to me it's more like just business as usual. You know, it's like, it's just, I don't mean to sound I don't mean to put anyone down. I'm just saying, like, it was really expected that something like this was going to happen. So I don't see any reason and like stressing out about it.
No, I completely agree with you. But some people, if it does affect your life, it's indirectly stressing you out, innit? Like in the case of Aid, he'd lost his job. So it weren't actually the thing that was stressing him out. It was, I think he couldn't leave it alone. He couldn't turn it. I get message after message from him of videos and stuff. And so I just seemed him on all the time. 22nd of November, I had 4 messages from him, all different things, links to. I think it just. I think it just got to him in the end. Stewie said, "What's Uni's view on the U.S. election?"
I think it's a fucking hoax, as it's always been, but specifically this one. I find it funny how everyone in the truth, well, not everyone, but it's like the majority of the big guys in the truth community before the election were all, oh, Trump is one of them. Trump doesn't matter. Who cares who wins? Who cares about the election? But then as soon as the election passes, now everyone's saying, oh, Trump was cheated. Trump was cheated. Oh my God. Oh my God. And it's like, you guys, if you guys really cared about Trump, why wouldn't you saying that from the start instead of just now hopping on the bandwagon? I do agree that this election definitely was rigged in favor of Biden. Like the evidence shows that, and the whistleblowers do show that. But at the same time, this is another reason why I don't really pay much attention to the truth community as a whole, because a lot of them are just self-absorbed hypocrites. Like, I'm not talking about you, Jason, of course, but I'm just talking about like a lot of the big channels.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think it's become an industry in itself.
Yes. It's become a cult. It's become a cult is what it is. It's like, wake people up. Oh, we need the world to wake up. We need to show them the truth. That is such a, I don't see how more people don't understand that. That is such a cult, a cult way of thinking.
That's a really good point, actually. I do agree with that. And they always talk about like new age stuff, like, you know, higher frequencies and all of this type of language. And it's like, that wasn't what I signed up for when I was looking to know what the real reality in front of us is.
Exactly. That's exactly right. That's why I tell people, you know, you should become knowledgeable, but don't become too absorbed in it, because then you just go down. Because then it's like the mainstream media, and also so many channels in the truth community are just such echo chambers. They just it's like you have all like say let's take James Corbett for example, and anytime you look on his comment section, I'm just like you people are like the people in the comment section always talking like, oh, we need to like the people need to wake up and all that. You know, they talk so much shit, but they won't ever go to a non-truth related video and tell people that. And so vice versa, it's the same with the mainstream media fans. But like, you know, people are still caught in these echo chambers. If that makes any sense.
I agree, and that's why I like having people on who I don't agree with. You know, like Sanders, Neil Sanders. Who, by the way, I forgot about this.
Like Blazing Saddles.
I mean, I personally think that Neil Sanders is a prick, but you know that's not my show, so I can't say who you can have on or not.
No, you have to do with everybody, and I did do him a bit of disservice, so I apologise for that on Tuesday's show. So I like getting people on that I don't agree with. See, then you can. It's not an echo chamber. An echo chamber is crap. It's crap. It's Alex Jones going, you're going to take my gun out of my cold, dead hand, and then I'm going to sit up behind you and shoot your brains. No,
speaking of Alex, actually made a video a little, I think it was like a couple of weeks ago or whatever, about the Georgia Guidestones and saying, and, you know, talking about all that. And the way he said it just made me think, you're not a real truther, dude. You're one of them. Just like the way you look at his body language and the way he's speaking, you can just tell that just by looking at him.
Do you think he was, you know, like legitimate when he first started, like 20, 30 years ago, and that he slowly became more and more corrupted?
I think to an extent he was always a shill, because if you look back at Bill Cooper in the 90s, he was calling out Alex Jones on his shit before 9/11 even happened.
Right. Because Alex Jones was sort of discovered when he claimed that 9/11 was an inside job, and that sort of kickstarted all of that.
Yeah, but
well, if you go back and find through archives and you find the William Cooper broadcast from 9/11 from the actual day.
Yes,
I'll look that up right now.
Listen to that, and he is saying, "Don't whatever you do, don't take any notice of Alex Jones and his ilk, because he'll have you believing any old sort of rubbish." And while this is all fucking, while this is all something that's actually going on now, and he does seem to be on your side, he really isn't. So go find out.
Alex Jones. He's one of those guys who pretends to be on your side by giving you some relevant information, but then at the same time he's also he's double crossing you, working behind the scenes. He's playing both sides. You know, like the bankers do during wars. I mean, I won't deny Alex Jones has done some very good stuff in the past. That can't be denied. Like, for example, when he interviewed what the fuck was her name? Madam something, I forgot her name, from in the mid 2000s, and that was personally one of my favorite interviews from Alex Jones. And also, he does say some truthful stuff about the Georgia Guidestones and the New World Order and all that. But honestly, most likely, most of the information that he says is probably taken from other sources anyway. So most of the stuff he said.
That interview with the madam, are you talking about the one where he asked her at the very end, "You're not going to commit suicide, are you?" She said
that one.
no. And then 2 weeks later, she'd fucking committed suicide.
Yes, that one. And he was interviewed on live TV about it, and he was saying that she did not commit suicide because I asked her live. Yeah, I forget her name, but yeah, that's the one. That's the one I'm talking about.
Mark, have you come across Alex Jones on your journey, Mark?
Oh man, I've got all the old stuff, you know, like what was it called? Road to Tyranny. What was it called? I've got DVDs from the 90s. I've got it all. Yeah, I've got pretty much all of the old conspiracy theory stuff.
Bohemian Grove.
He's proper old cat, Alex Jones. Though at the time, I actually quite believed a lot of his philosophies and theories, but now obviously he's sold that. Is, you know, whether he's a shoe or not, I don't know. He's made a lot of money out of it, hasn't he, with these vitamin products and all this other business as well. And he's a big loudmouth. I don't know, man. You know, for some people, he might be quite useful because people see him as a bit of enlightenment. I don't know, but that's not where I found. Not where I found where I was coming from. He come on, you know. They were all around at the same time, weren't they? You know, after the 9/11 thing, you know, it started to get into the 80s, you know, sorry, the 90s, and he was part of that as far as I was concerned. He's old hat, you know, he's been going a long time. He's made a business out of it, I suppose. I can't, whether that's a good or bad thing, I don't know. I don't even know whether I trust him or not. I don't know where I feel with it. You know, whether he's Jewish, whether he's a Zionist and all that rubbish they come out with. I'm not really that asked, to be honest with you. Yeah.
And to be honest, like, how do you get to be as big as Alex Jones and be and get as much money and as much stardom as he does, and not get murdered, not get off? Like, how does he get to have a platform and be as?
He used to say that you know, that if he were murdered, that would underline everything that he'd ever said. So that was his excuse for not being killed. Look, we've all been. You go through these stages, don't you? You go through stages of people that you listen to, and then you think, well, I've listened to enough of that, you know, and then you move on, you find somebody else, and you move on to somebody else, and then you think, I've had enough of that, you know, so perhaps you might get Alex Jones, then you hear David Icke on his show, and you get into...
Isn't he a showman? Isn't he just a showman, really, these days? You know, he's a showman. And David Icke's a showman, isn't he? David Icke, you know, if you've seen his last ones at them, the anti-lockdown protests, he's quoting, what was it, Bill Hicks and all that, wasn't it? What's that about? Is that the showman, aren't they? Speaking of which, Bill Hicks, wasn't he? You know, preaching to the converted as well. I don't know. I mean, I feel like, you know, that's where I find them people. Like, they have made a business out of it, I suppose, really, haven't they? You know, fair play in some ways. I don't think they're multi-millionaires. At the end of the day, you know, and they lead people into something. But, you know, are they gatekeepers? I don't know. Are they? You know, I wouldn't trust any of them as far as I could throw them. But at the same time, I suppose they do give a little bit of knowledge out along the way. You know, I don't know. You know, because when I saw them sort of conspiracy theories as I see them, that was in the 90s, and it's changed now, hasn't it? It's completely changed in a different dynamic. Completely different dynamic.
Mm. Yeah, but I mean, the same names keep popping up everywhere. This is what I'm doing with this show, is that I'm not having many guests on because there's not very many people that I want to fucking talk to. You know what I mean? I don't want somebody coming on and you know, giving us some sort of fucking story about some shit, or you know, they keep going around and they do all fucking shows and everything. And I don't want that. I want this to be, you know, just fucking us. I don't want no stars. I don't want no. I don't think I'd even have David Icke on if I could. I mean, perhaps I would. Just fucking thumbs up and that. But,
he wouldn't have you, Jason. No doubt about that. He's too big. I don't know. See, I wouldn't even slug off someone like David Icke. You know, he's been useful for people, and in some ways, but it's this celebrity status thing, and we've moved on from that now, aren't we? We're in a different, you know, in their own words, we're in a different fucking paradigm now, aren't we? So it's not like it's not even needed anymore, is it? They can't carry on. You know, Alex Jones can't be going chatting the same old shit. You know, Bohemian Grove and all that. Remember and all that. You know, yeah, we know. You know, it's. I don't even know what he spouts anymore, to be honest with you. But that Infowars and that's like. I mean, I prefer the old DVDs in the early 2000s. Anyway. I found them a bit. You know, that was quite conspiratorial, quite a bit different, a bit edgy. But it's mainstream now, and it's mainstream now, isn't it?
So, oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah, of course it is. Well, speaking of like these celebrity truthers, alternative media people, Alex, what's your thoughts on Vinny Eastwood?
He's all right. I don't like the fact that he's constantly begging people for money, but that's just my opinion.
Right. Do you listen to him a lot?
Yeah, sometimes. I listened to him throughout the election build-up this year. So he was very involved in that. So he was live streaming all of the protests on Saturdays, and so I couldn't make it, so I would watch them on Vinny's stream. But yeah, I don't mind Vinny. I don't know if he's shilling for anyone or anything like that, but I don't mind him.
Well, I don't think he's shilling for anybody. I mean, I've had him on this show a couple of times, a few times that we've done casts. I think he's been broadcasting as well at the same time. So I've had him on this show. I quite like Vinny. I didn't used to. I've got to admit, I didn't used to. But I quite like Vinny, and
he's toned it down a bit. Is that why he's toned it down a bit?
I don't know. I think it's because I spoke to him. I didn't like him when I not spoke to him, but once I've spoke to him, I liked him. I'm generally a good fucking judge of character, apart from Owen fucking Lloyd fucking Epstein.
He was actually on. I believe he was on Webby's stream about a month ago or whatever, and not like actually in the stream, but he was in the comment section of the stream. Like he was.
Oh yeah, in the chat.
I believe. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure it was him, but I'm pretty sure it was him.
He's been on the chat for Raconteurs before as well.
Oh, he has. Like, you mean after he got publicly shamed?
Did he get publicly shamed?
Well, I mean, by Jason. I guess you wouldn't really call it publicly shamed, but
did you Jason? Did you publicly shame Vinny Eastwood?
No, not Vinny Eastwood. Owen.
Owen. Are you talking about Owen Lord Marden?
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened there? What happened there? Big fallout or what? Or just not even a fallout? What happened there?
He just he disappeared from because he had been joining me, and then he just suddenly disappeared. I couldn't get hold of him anywhere, and then some people got in contact with me and told me what he'd been up to, so I decided I was going to tell everybody else. So I told everybody on show. I mentioned it on show, and I've not seen him since. Seen hide nor hair of him since. But,
so he's a refugee now.
But I'm thinking that he knew that all this shit was going to come out, which is why he fucking disappeared. He knew it were all going to come out, and he knew that because he was scamming women out of money.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Which they can barely fucking afford themselves. You know what I mean? Scamming people for fucking money. So I outed him. I were happy enough with evidence that had been given. I were happy enough that everything that what the people were telling me was true. And so I decided to out him. And so, but again, like I said, I'd not seen anything of him for weeks before, because I kept saying during them weeks, where if you're listening, Owen, where the fuck are you? Because he wanted to be on all time at one point, and then he'd just suddenly gone all cold on me. And anyway, now I know why. So he won't be doing that again. Not on my watch.
So did you start the show with him when you started Raconteurs News? Or did he join in a bit later on?
No, I started with Andy, a guy called Andy. Andy Young. He'd been doing a show, and his co-presenter, he got a bit fed up with his co-presenter. He'd stopped being. Sorry, He'd got a few issues with his co-presenter, so he said to me, what if we did a show together and we'll call it Raconteurs News? I mean, this is fucking 5 years ago. We've been involved in all different associations, whereas I never really wanted to. I thought that we should have just stayed independent, and since we've been independent, it's things have been a lot better. But yeah, and then Webby's been a a co-host with me. AD, obviously, he'd been a co-host with me, but he left in a strop one day.
Yeah, I watched his stream about that, and I found out a little bit of information as to why.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were fine about it afterwards. It's just one of them things, isn't it? Again, this is part of the stress. The stress that's got to him. The stress got to him, and he just went and off on one. Well, it just disappeared, and I spoke to him a few days later. And
the shows where you had Webby and Ed on were my favorite shows. Those were the best shows. When all three of you were on at once.
Yeah, it's always Webby's always got something to say.
He's so good.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Fucking towards, but Jason's had more partners than Liz Taylor. They all fucked off, Jason. Tell the truth, they did. They all fucked off. At least I kept going. You know, I think Andy thought that when he went that I wouldn't continue. He probably thought I couldn't do it. Not that I couldn't do it. That I just, wouldn't have the inclination to do it. But I decided to keep it going on my own, and I've had a few partners since then. But yeah, they all, like I said, they all fucked off in the end. So it is just me. It is just me. Oh, well, never mind. It's summer there, isn't it, Alex?
Yeah, I'll just message Clarky, ask him if he wants to come on.
Clarky, yeah, get Clarky on, yeah. You've got Link, haven't you?
I've got him on Facebook.
But you've got Link to send him.
Oh yeah, Clarky actually messaged on one of my videos. I think Clarky's a cool guy.
Oh, he's a top monk. All that. Now then, geezer. Come on then, like, mad for it, sorted.
By the way, I want to ask, have you thought about getting Francis Richard Connolly back on? Because apparently he's working to get more broadcasts in.
No, I've not. No, I've been in touch with him. I've sent him a message, but I've not. That was ages ago. I've not heard back.
Yeah. Sometimes he doesn't reply. I mean, he's like David Icke's age, so he probably has a hard time working with technology. So, it's just how it is.
Yeah, just how it is. Watch him, he's not one of us. Evening, Paul. Heath Dweth says you haven't tried a bird co-presenter, Jace. No, you're right, I haven't. There's no particular reason for that, but no birds have put themselves forward as being interested in co-presenting. I'd happily have a lady on board to co-present with me as long as she weren't shit. Just like me. It's a joke. Everybody, please, before I get all fucking feminized and that. This stream needs the civilizing influence of women. Listen, there's no problem with me. If there's a woman that wants to put themselves forward just to do a trial show, and we can see how we get on along as co-presenters, because there has to be a certain amount of chemistry. And I mean, me and Adi had decent chemistry. Me and Adi. We had, Adi. Me and Adi had good chemistry. But I think the best chemistry we had were we, Andy, and I think that we sort of knew what, you knew where, what, who was going to say in that particular moment. There weren't a lot of dead time. Mark Wood looked good in his skirt. Token bird presenter, Mark.
Oh, thank you very much for that.
It's over here in Barnsley.
Give me Lala. Do you want me Lala? Surely.
the thing is with co-presenters is that you always end up falling out, and the good thing about it is that we've managed to not work together anymore and decide to do that, but remain friends apart from Andy, who just disappeared, just completely disappeared. So you know, we've always been friendly afterwards. So yeah, it's good. It's good to be nice. Let's be nice. Let's have some goodness in this world. What would you like to see, Mark? Give me one good thing that you know. Take me back to your childhood and something. You know, just back to something what you'd never been able to do. What's that good thing that you know that place that where would you be?
Where would it be now? God,
no, where would you be if you went into your happy place? You know, your place that you've got a memory of, and sometimes you'll think of that memory and you know fondly because it's etched into your mind. Something that you wouldn't be doing now. You know,
you're doing like NLP. You're doing NLP on me now, mate. Take me back to this place where I should have been.
Well, no, I'm just trying to. Well, I'll tell you mine's like we used to have like a village fete in the village that I lived in. It was a pit village. We had a big cricket.
Where was it in Rotherham? Near Rotherham, a nice place in Rotherham. Yeah, where then? Nice Rotherham.
Nice bit of Rotherham, yeah. And there was a cricket pitch, and we used to have a fete. You know, not a fucking fete. You know, a village fete. And there'd be, you know, we'd all play games and stuff like that. And I entered into the run all the way around the cricket pitch race, and I won it. I was fucking miles in front of everyone else, and I fucking won it. And you know, everyone were pat me up, this is winning, go up. And I got sent a couple of bags of sweets and that, you know, for winning and everything. And that's the sort of thing that doesn't happen these days. I know we've got a fucking a bit of midsummer going on, but you know that's the sort of thing that we don't do today. That I miss. That's my happy place. That's where I'd like to, you know, go back to. That sort of era. That sort of you know where we were. We didn't have much money, but fucking we had a great laugh. Yeah.
Don't know what to say.
Well, Jason, if you want a good laugh, and this is for everyone, I got some hilarious prank calls I can share. Not I made, no, just ones that I found on YouTube.
Hey, I tell you what would be better if you could do a crank call on your phone now, live on this show.
Oh, I don't do crank calls. I don't do crank calls. I'm talking about ones I find on YouTube.
No, come on, you do it. Come on, you brought up the crank call thing. I'll make a crank call. Give me a number. Somebody give me a number.
Call Donald Trump.
I'm going to ring Donald Trump upon her, for fuck's sake. He's
Well,
not
actually,
call twice, is he, in a day?
Call Leeds.
Oh, yeah, let's call Leeds. He's not in fucking team, is he?
Yeah, where is he?
I'm going to ring him now and find out. Oh, his phone's not working.
Anyway, Jason, it's all a bit of stage fright. I might turn the camera off. You know, I've never been on camera at a show or anything like that, so it's a bit.
Don't turn the camera off. It'll only be me then that's showing me fucking ugly mug.
But you know now, don't you? That's it. Been seen. That's it. It's on camera.
Well, fuck all then. Are we gonna? Oh, let's have a look. Woohoo! let's see if anybody had fucking 80 in death fucking sweep. They'll be kicking the Sens if they did. No, I don't think they did. They'll be pleased about that. Deadpool, Paul McCartney, Simon Cowell, Kevin Keegan, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Gary Glitter, Michael Barrymore, Paul McCartney, Johnny Depp, Prince Charles, Robert De Niro.
Oh, Robert De Niro, man, he made a lot of good movies, but I'm very suspicious of the man himself.
Well, don't let him into your fucking room then.
And
I wouldn't trust any Hollywood actor or actress.
I mean, there are a handful that do come out and actually prove that there's at least semi-decent people. Like, most of those usually end up dead, though. But they are there. One person.
So Philip Seymour Hoffman knew the truth.
Why? I mean,
wasn't Charlie Sheen supposed to didn't Charlie Sheen talk about 9/11, saying that he doesn't believe that he doesn't believe the government story?
Yeah, I haven't seen that clip.
You were actually on the Alex Jones show saying it.
Yeah, I remember that. And he was also supposed to be a part of what's it called, Loose Change.
Yeah, the Loose Change. He was supposed to be narrating the fourth. I mean, I got I were involved a little bit in Loose Change in the second edition, but yeah, he was supposed to narrate the final edition, but he didn't. But then again, Mark Cuban, the billionaire, was going to finance it, and then he had to not finance it. So, watching these, not one of us says, so Aidy's dead. No, sorry, mate, no. He's not dead. He's still here. Weird, but he's had a stroke.
Sorry. You're like, sorry, Aidy's still alive, bro. Sorry, man. That's fucked up.
Watch, don't get cheeky. Oh, well, this was...
Jason, you're a football fan,
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever go to a stadium and watch a game ever again?
No.
That's so sad.
It is, since I've got 2 fucking season tickets. I've got 2 season tickets and nobody can go. I can watch for a tenner on iFollow, which comes off my account. The amount of money that I've got on my account on my fucking season tickets. But no, I think they're starting to reintroduce next week. I think if you're in tier 2, you can have 4,000 people in your stadium
without a vaccine.
Without a vaccine.
4,000 people.
I wonder how long that's gonna last.
Personally, this is just how I personally feel. I don't think that they're actually going to force everyone to be vaccinated to participate in any public activity. And the reason why I say that is because over the years they have been constantly telling us we're going to do this and we can do this, and while they have done some of it, they haven't really done all of it. So the whole vaccination thing to me feels more like them telling us we have the power to do it. But not necessarily that we actually are going to do it. Basically, more stage fright, if that makes any sense. But more stress inducing on the public. Basically, say because you have families going in over the whole vaccine argument. So maybe they don't even have to introduce the whole mandatory vaccine as long as they just hint the idea, because it gets families fighting amongst each other, it causes stress and all that stuff. So that's why that's just my personal thoughts on the matter.
Yeah, I've thought about that as well. Like, if they're just trying to scare us, and if it's like a psyop within a psyop,
Yeah.
But
yes.
Yeah, like I have wondered that, and I'm not saying it will be mandatory, but like, I'm just saying I don't. We're in the it's like we're in the fog right now. We don't know what's gonna happen.
Yes, we can't say one way or the other. So
Nah.
the best way we should go about it is don't make assumptions. Just be prepared for whatever happens.
Yeah.
But do you think that they might change? That, you know, are they in control? Are they likely to change the plans or see how things go? Do you think or do you think they've got an order that they're going to do things in? And there's, you know, it's a a stiff order that everyone's going to have to do.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be like a stiff order. Sorry, go ahead.
Motherfucking watch him. He's not one of us in the chat. Says, will Uni ever lose his virginity? Really? Fucking seriously?
JJ.
Man. Well, come over to my house, man. Maybe I will lose it.
Okay, no, there's no can't refuse, isn't it? Jesus Christ.
Exactly, you can't refuse that offer.
Yeah, go on, you were saying, Alex.
It's just like, how are they going to get away with this? Like, if it's actually what's going to happen, like mandatory vaccines, like you can't enter this store if you want. It's completely insane. Like, how are people going to like comply with this? Like, there has to be pushback if it does get to that point.
But they don't have to make it mandatory, do they? Because basically, all they're going to do is drip, 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 and they just start basically cutting off people's rights slowly, so you can't travel. So they're talking about football or soccer, as you call it, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, then you have to have a pass for that entertainment. You know, it'll just become down that path. So it'll just be closing down every avenue, which they've been doing basically with everyone's freedoms. Drip, 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 and taking these little things away incrementally.
They're just chipping away at our freedoms.
Yeah. So you know, and also they're very clever because they're doing it in almost every form of our society as well, which is very, very clever to be able to do that. As a, you know, at the moment, I think there's it's not amazing. I think it's absolutely like fascistic and like.
It's evil. It's evil genius.
But at the same time, that's you know, that's what they're doing, man. Yeah, and people, and also you've got to remember as well, like, you know, I don't know if anyone knows about, you know, people know about the psychology of these things, don't they? But you know,
like, this whole thing is a psychological warfare operation.
Systematic, like since March, right? Lockdown's been systematic since March, I think, all over the world, pretty much since then. Everything's been working systematically. So it's like, you know, step by step, blah, 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 tiptoe, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter, right? To be able to organise that sort of stuff, you know, globally, you know, you just, you know, you tell me, you know, it just makes me laugh.
Well, clearly governments have way too much power if they were able to pull this off. That's what this year showed, is that they have way too much power.
Hold on. I don't actually, let me just chip in, and I want to correct you on that one. Government actually doesn't actually have any power. The thing is, it's the public that believes that they have power, and that's what allows them to do what they do. Government in and of itself is just it's a religion. People look up to these holy politicians that, you know, they think that they have they have the authority. They think the cops or the politicians have the authority to do whatever they want. They really don't. They're no different than anyone else. It's just that the public at large have been so indoctrinated over the millennia into thinking that these people are like on some kind of pedestal and will let them, and that they have the right to do this. If people would just understand that authority is nothing more than just a fictitious religion, then government will be.
Listen, mate.
Yeah.
Listen, you're right. You're right in what you're saying. They don't have any actual power. The only power they hold over is what we believe that they've got.
But that is power in itself, isn't it?
That's a good question, actually, Jason. Power in itself, he said. Power in itself.
You could look at it that way, yeah. I mean, like, like, how is government any different from, say, a gang leader who brings?
No, it's not. No, the government is mob. Government is it's a mob. What do you call it? Like it's an organized crime institution.
Cartel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's mafia, you know. It's Hollywood for ugly people. It's, you know,
Yeah, and you know, and it's like anyone, you know, and if enough people got behind something, like basically, like say for example, if tomorrow I stood in front of the whole world and told them I rule over you now, and enough people believed it, that would automatically give me the position of looking like that I have this godlike power.
Yeah,
When in
they
fact,
themselves don't have power, but the fact that people believe that they do gives them power.
yes, exactly. It's exactly right. It's no different than a religion.
It's all
No, it's no different.
It's all them things. Listen, you. If you went out, listen. This is you're absolutely right. Government has no power. Coppers don't really have any power. They enforce policies. But the problem is if you go out and something happens to you and you try to invoke all these rights and stuff like that, that you're going to be in back of a fucking cruiser, as you call them. And then probably be losing your virginity a couple of hours later. So you know it's still...
That's the thing. It's because society has become so dependent on this organized, you know, quote unquote protection agencies that they can't protect themselves. Everyone's just so, like say for example, if I go rob someone's house, the first thing that they're gonna do instead of trying to stop me themselves is call the cops. And yeah, you might say, oh, but what if you have a weapon with you, like a knife or a gun or something? There's there are ways like to be able to stop people who do that. Like say, for example, if communities were to come together and were to actually bond and stuff, then the people like that wouldn't be able to exist. The whole reason why we have crazy people in society is because of this whole authority, this whole belief in authority in government. And it's made people forget how to protect themselves and each other. It's like, you know, for example, if everyone was organized together, then if I went to rob a house, everyone would instantly go and jump me, and it wouldn't just be, oh, I'm scared that something's going to happen to me. You know, that kind of thing. Like you know, maybe I'm sounding crazy, but hey, I'm just just stating what. You know, I'm just stating.
What time is it there anyway, Uni? Are you pissed or what?
No, I don't drink. I've never drinking in my life. I hate alcohol.
What he's on?
But it's
I am, and I've had a joint as well. So you know,
right now it's 40 p.m. for me.
Hey, say that again.
3:40 p.m. right now for me.
3:40 p.m. So go out, go do a bit of jaywalking, right, in front of the copper. Get yourself you can't say up to me. I've got Deirdre Barlow's glasses on. You can't do anything to me. And they'll stick you back at cruiser, and then Bubba will use soap, I'm sure, as a bit of a lubricant because it's going to be a bit tight, isn't it? But yeah.
And the sad thing is that they actually could do that because people are just too scared to accept the fact that that the cops are nothing more than just thugs with a fancy uniform on. So if we actually had a proper society, then people would then if a cop tried to take someone away for the wrong reasons, everyone would be like, "No, you're not fucking doing that." You know, like we don't care if you have a fancy uniform or a fancy badge or whatever title you give yourself. We're not gonna just let you sit back and just do whatever you want. Like, you know, especially since, and also it would get rid of those annoying fucking sirens that those police cars have. I hate those things. They're loud unnecessarily too.
Yeah,
I think it's so that people get out of the way because they're going to might be a shooting. Like there might be some
more likely to apprehend someone because they're not wearing a mask than a shooting. Like let's
I don't know. There's quite a lot of shootings over there in America. I've watched the first 48. You're fucking all killing each other.
No, that dude, trust me, that's just propaganda. Trust me, that's just that's like saying that Australia is always always has big fires going on and that the whole country is covered in fire. It's like or that Germany is a completely drunk over country. It's like it's a complete propaganda campaign is what it is.
No, it's not Germany. That's Ireland that's drunk all the time.
Oh,
and they really are. They really are. Honestly, I've never watched Mrs. Brown's Boys, But I think you've got to be some sort of fucking pisshead to come up with something like that.
Well, I know Dinty's always drinking. He's from Ireland, so I guess that works.
Oh dear. So what's your plan for the weekend then, guys?
I'm just gonna relax. I'm gonna watch a game tonight, a rugby game.
All right, who's playing?
All Blacks against the Argentina.
All right, Argentina's the greatest country on earth. You know that, don't you?
Is it really? Have you been there?
Yeah, rugby though. But, you know, I know they'll get hammered at rugby by fucking All Blacks, you know, because All Blacks do that hacker thing, don't they? Where I just wouldn't be able to stop myself from laughing if I was stood in front of that.
Yeah, I'd be laughing as well. They do laugh.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I suppose they do. Look, listen, I'm facetious. I know it's a traditional Maori thing, so...
Yeah.
It is a bit intimidating and fucking hell.
Hey Jess, I just wanted to ask you something about I just wanted to do a little bit of like private investigation because in New Zealand apparently it's a testing ground for what's to come for the rest of the world, and they've done something here, and I wanted to know if they're doing it over there.
Okay. Fire away.
They've put QR codes around every business shop front door for people to scan to be contact traced. And I was wondering, have they done that in England? Are there QR codes everywhere to scan?
No.
Interesting, isn't it?
But they are promoting it, though, aren't they, Jason? They are promoting it. You are seeing
I noticed that. You know, when they're showing footballers arriving at ground, they're all doing it.
Been using them in lots of ways.
At the moment.
Yeah, that's interesting because in New Zealand they are literally like you hop on a bus and they're behind every seat. You know, like, and what's interesting is that it's not mandatory to scan it. It's recommended, it's suggested, but they make it so you can't escape it, so that some people probably just feel like it's really clever psychological, like, you know, mind play, because you're not forced to, yet it feels like you are, but you're not. I don't know how to explain.
This whole thing has been psychological. I don't care what anybody says. It's been nothing to do with a virus. It's been nothing to do with
all about control.
No, the whole thing has been a complete, as far as I'm concerned, really well. You know, there might be a virus and everything, blah blah blah, but the whole thing is a complete psyop, isn't it? Been like the biggest psyop ever.
It's the psyop.
I can't speak for anyone else because obviously, I've only got my life to think. You know, that I've lived in, but in my life, this is like the biggest psyop by a long way, isn't it?
I reckon it's a bigger psyop than 9/11.
Oh yeah, it's a lot bigger than 9/11. This is global.
Wait, it's global.
It's global, man.
It's not just one city; it's the whole world.
Global. So, it's global.
Yeah, that's why it's massive. That's why it's the biggest psyop.
Personally, I think it still pales in comparison to the absolute nonsense that is the propaganda surrounding the World War II. All this nonsense that has been, like, because if you think about it, the League of Nations spawned from World War II, and everything and all the big policies that we have worldwide have resulted because of it, indirectly or indirectly because of it.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
The phrase at uni, have you ever heard the phrase the road what is it, the road to good intentions is fucking beset on all sides by fucking shit and wank and that? What is it?
Yeah.
That's you know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
With good intentions, that's the one.
That's right. So, you know, after the war, they very well may have just thought, well, fucking hell, we've only just won this. Hitler had us, because he did have us. He had fucking, he could have won. He just made strategic mistakes.
Is that fucking Hitler freaking offered peace more than a dozen times. He literally let the Allies go on more than a dozen occasions, and yet they're still portrayed as the evil dictator of the world that had to be silenced. You know, all this bullshit that's been said about the Third Reich over the years. It's just absolute nonsense.
Isn't it quite simple though? It's just but you know, it's the ultimate, isn't it? Global fascism or global communism, but communitarianism, I call it. You don't matter whatever you brand it up is, they're just getting like that whatever power grab you want on a global level. Brand it what you want. It's the same
exactly.
thing.
What people don't understand is that Hitler was trying to fight against the fucking communists and the fucking and democracy together, because he realized that both were two sides of the same coin. And it's like what people don't understand is that was the whole purpose for World War II, was to bring down somebody who was saving his country and was trying to warn the world about what was coming to them, what happened to Russia.
I can just see Uni, your teacher at one of your schools telling you about World War II, and he's going, "Hey, oh yeah, World War II, when this happened, Hitler was a real bastard," and yada yada. And he goes around the whole class, and you know, little Johnny says, "Yeah, my granddaddy, he died in that war, but it dropped all his." Fucking hand grenades, and they all went off, and yada yada yada, and then Uni fucking stands up and said, "Well, I'd have gone for a pint with him."
Yeah, yeah. Why not? I mean, you know, the funny thing is that all this shit we've heard about Hitler, you almost never hear it about Stalin, and much less Churchill or Roosevelt, who were the world leaders at the time. And it's like, it's portrayalism or whatever the word I'm looking for is. Basically, they you know, they're basically calling Hitler what the things that what they themselves were. You know, Stalin and freaking Churchill and Roosevelt were the real evil bastards.
Listen, right? We've got Hitler has been portrayed, and you've got to portray him as this fucking bastard. Otherwise, you lose the impetus of the Holocaust, and that has become a real industry.
Isn't it those that win the war always write the history anyway?
Yeah.
Yes.
Classic thing, isn't it? Classic to that one, isn't it? Surely.
Exactly. It's you know, it's the same thing with even the Kennedy assassination. How even that's become a mini industry in and of itself in Dallas, with the JFK you know, museum and all that at Daley Plaza. You know, even that's become its own tiny little industry in and of itself.
Well, when I went to New York, I bought myself a 9/11 car tie.
Yeah, it's like this big event happened. Let's make some merchandise. Let's make some merchandise over it, like it's some kind of movie or something.
Yeah, that's what it was. It had pictures of planes just as back then to buildings. It reminds me of that Noel MacDonald line. Don't you remember the good old days when all the news was hijacked jetliners crashing into buildings? Just fucking. It is worse than 9/11. I believe I know it's worse than 9/11. It's affected far more people.
Way worse.
Definitely. Far worse than 9/11. Yes, and the funny thing is that this whole thing, this whole COVID thing, reminds me back of the Cold War years. I mean, obviously, I wasn't alive back then, but I have researched into it and how like children at schools were being taught that they had to constantly hide under desks because of the threat of a nuclear attack by the Russians. And it's like, oh my God, the hide under the desk, little Timmy. That'll protect you from the nuclear blast. It'll fucking. Like,
well, I find it harder to believe that there's this virus that's traveling across the entire world, infecting and killing thousands of people, than I do just believing there's no virus. I find it harder to believe that that's a thing that can happen.
And also, there are certain countries even now that have given a big middle finger to the lockdowns. Like certain governments have told the World Health Organization, we're not going to force lockdowns or masks on our people. I forget which country specifically it is, but there are a handful. And I believe that some people. There was an interview with a woman from one of these countries. I can't remember the name. Basically, she was asked, "Why? What has your country done to prevent the spread of COVID?" And she answered, "Because we don't have the idiot boxes," and referencing television.
Turn off the TV and the virus goes away.
Exactly, or at the very least, turn off the mainstream. At least turn the news off.
Turn the news off. But like, I feel like whenever someone or like asks me if I think there's a virus or whatever, I always say if the mainstream media said nothing about a virus this year, no one would think there's a virus.
Exactly, and here's another thing, and it's the same thing with Black Lives Matter. If the mainstream media are constantly talking about it and shoving it down your throats, you know that it's a psyop.
Like, what do you think, Jackson?
Have people not heard of
yourself?
Like, people have not heard of Operation Mockingbird, have they?
What's all right. It all seems to have gone to tits up. Thingy we're talking about something, weren't you? About sorry, I'm reading comments, and I'm a little bit refreshed, and I've just had a joint as well. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because it's going to be nearly 2 hours. I'm going to give you each, a few minutes to say anything that you want to say. Give people advice on, how you not people advice, but just explain to people how you're coping with this pandemic. And I think really the main fucking thing I want to get over to people is not to stress about it, because it's gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
You can go first, Yoni.
Well, yeah, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be 100% serious about this. I really do think that people should try watching some anime. And the reason why I say this, and I'm not trying to joke, I'm not trying to fuck around. The reason why I say this is because anime is the reason why I got into the truth community in the first place. Like, there are some really damn good philosophical stuff out there to watch that actually really can make you smarter and to morally better as a person. Like, that's honestly how I feel about it.
Okay. Have you got some anime comics
or like movies that you could recommend? Because I'll watch one if you got some good ones to recommend. I'll write them down now.
Full Metal Alchemist from Brotherhood is definitely is the first one that comes to mind for me. It's called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. The manga or comic, whatever you want to call it, it's just called Full Metal Alchemist. There's two anime versions, one from 2003 and the other from 2009. Brotherhood's from 2009. This is my geekness talking right now, but but basically, the second one's the one you want to watch, the one that has Brotherhood at the end, and with it. Another good one is Code Geass. That's actually, well, I mean, it's a bit that one's a bit more difficult to swallow because of the content, but
What's it called?
The second one I mentioned.
Yeah, no, the Code Geass one.
Yeah, Code Geass. That's I mean, if you watch that one, warning, there is a bit of a sexual not much. It's not a porn or anything like that. Just like it just like kind of like hints towards sexualization, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it's hard to explain to people who haven't seen anime before. Like, I don't mean to sound negative. It's generally hard for me to describe it because I'm terrible at explaining things. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, you completely fucking ruined my joke, which was going to be, have you got any of them anime comics, Uni? And if you would have said yes, I was going to say, I bet the pages are all stuck together. So,
oh, God!
Ruined that for me. Mark, give us your thoughts. What's your final thoughts on what to do and how to get through it?
What to do with the COVID thing and just everything. Yeah, just the philosophy on it. Well, the only thing I would say, mate, is it's like we have to just go back to basic things with it, basically. Blah blah blah, basic. But like You know, we all know this is shit. Right? I'm struggling, but you know, but I do just find the little things in life that make you happy. Be nice to people around you as well, you know, because not everybody thinks and feels the same way as you. You know, it's hard for everybody, and just try and keep your head together if you can, man, because it's a fucking battle. It's really hard, but you've got to, you know, stay compassionate as well, and also understand that people don't agree with you on things. You know, this is I'm even falling out with my family over this sometimes. So you know, try and stay a bit humble as well. You know what I mean? You know, a bit of compassion, stay humble, and just try and keep going, man. And just try to, you know, not spiritual, just keep going, man, and you know, have some strength in your own character and mind that you know you might be able to get through this. That's all I'm doing, and try and stay true to yourself. That's all I'd say.
Good man. Alex, final thoughts from you?
Yeah, I'd sort of just echo what Mark said, and also just take it day by day. Like, don't live your life as if you think there's a mandatory vaccine that's coming tomorrow every day, you know? Like that, because that might not even become a reality. That's just something that's been projected on us by the powers that be, of whom we have no control of. So stop worrying about them. Stop thinking that, you know, they can rule your life, and just just be strong. And you know, there is a battle. We are in a psychological warfare operation, but don't let it drive you insane. Instead, use it as an opportunity to keep you more sane if you can, and you know, have more inner strength. And also, I don't think it's our calling to wake everyone up. I don't think that's what we should be doing. I think that needs to come from within. But we can just sow seeds to people who believe it is real and who are scared. We don't need to laugh at or scold them. We can just ask them maybe questions if they ask, and never impose what you think about it on someone. I think it's better to just let it happen naturally if they ask you. If not, you know, just be yourself and kind of go through life as if this whole thing, you know, didn't happen, because it isn't real. It is fake. And why should we let a fake thing affect our way of living the way we usually were when this whole thing wasn't a thing? So I'll just leave it at that.
That was beautiful, man. That was a beautiful way to put it.
Brilliant, thank you. I can't think of any better way to close the show, but thanks to Yune, Mark, and Alex Angry for coming on the show tonight. And I'm sorry I came on with such devastating news, but we will be back on Tuesday, hopefully. Give us a thumbs up if you can. If you can't, you know, well, then you know you're in a worse state than me. But it's Friday, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you all, because I've never done this before. But thank you all for that. You know, I'll get better at it.